So hello, today we will talk a little bit about a newly installed Extron system into this conference room, which consists of, let's see here, this is a big conference room with some removable walls. Here we have removable wall, and there we have a removable wall, so that this big room can be separated into three different rooms. For example, this is one part of the removable wall. If we close just like this and do the same with the rest, and we close that into that, then we're gonna have three different rooms. We call this New York, we call this Paris, and we call that room Melbourne, or we have a big room. So this here we have the main projector, the big room, and then we have the sub projectors for each and every room. Here we have three screens. This is screen number one, and this is the second, that is the second screen, and the third screen is behind that whiteboard. Now, the scenarios are made so that if all the walls are open, for example, like this, then we can control this conference room from any of the screens. For example, here, if I press this button, will unmute the microphones also according to the opening and closing of the walls. For example, if all the walls are closed, then we're gonna have a headset and a microphone dedicated to each and every room that will work only with that dedicated room. But if the doors are, or if the walls are open, then all the microphones will work in the big conference room. So if you press presentation, then all the rooms will go on. So the projectors now are playing, and all the screens are going down. All the screens are going down. All the screens are going down. Excellent. And all the screens will play the same input. The same inputs. For example, if we noticed, look at the IP address. They all say this is a wireless HDMI. It is to show, thank you. It says 192.168.21, and the same thing is played here. Same thing is played here, and it's the same thing played also on the last screen. But if any of the, for example, if that wall was closed, then the same, that screen, Melbourne screen, would have controlled only that room, and the other two screens would have controlled only these two rooms with beside the main projector. So for example, just put this into close, or I can go to control room, and let's just notice, for example, here we have blinds and shades. If you go to blinds and shades, we will have shade and blind for New York, for Paris, and for Melbourne. If you close this, if we close the first wall, if we close this wall, now I have closed the Melbourne wall. Perfect. Then you go back to the same page, which is blinds and shades. These are the shades, and the one behind are the blinds. These ones are the blinds. So if you open the same, it will only show New York and Paris. And if we close this room, or this wall, I'm sorry, this wall. Then you go to blinds and shaders, you'll only see here New York. And the same thing will happen with the system. For example, if I shut off the system, only New York room will go off, but the rest of the rooms will stay on. The rest of the rooms will stay on. Why? Because all the walls are closed, separated. So I'm gonna have to close them from here. Yeah, I can of course close it from here, but the thing is I have to open this first. And maybe I can go here, I can go to projectors and just put the other off, save time. Now they are all going off because I did it like manually. I mean, I did every and each one from the projectors, not from the main screen. But now they are all off. Perfect. Now, if I press now on, because all the walls are closed, only New York will go on. Presentation. So the others are off. New York is going on, but the other rooms are off. The other rooms are off. So, and here I will have a different input displayed here. And if you notice, sorry, this is the main room, so it will be 192, 168, 20, and 1. And if I put this on as well, on, so only this room will go on. Why? Because the walls are closed. And it will display a different input. And we have, if I go just behind the white wall and the whiteboard, and this was on from before, so I have to put it off. So wait a little bit. Now, when I press on presentation, this will go on. Perfect. This will go on, and this will display a different input. Actually, the IP address is repeated because by default it is 21, but if you look at the SSID, that this ends with 4A, but that ends with 63, not 4A. And the first one will end with something else. So basically, now all the projectors are on, and they are all different, playing different input, which means that we can have 3 different conferences here from 3 different places. Here we have laptop. This is for the wireless actually input, wireless HDMI, and this is for the wired HDMI. So now I have put the wireless. Now this one ends with CD, so which means that there are 3 different inputs. But now if we move all the walls, and the same thing is with the lighting system, they are all controlled by the walls. so that you can have 3 different rooms or one big conference room. So if you open this, then we can put off the system from any of the screens. For example, if I put this off, yes, power down, then all the system will go off because the screens are open. The main project did not go on at the first place because there were 3 separate rooms, so we didn't need the main. But now if I put it on, it would have go on and all the projectors as well. So what I'm controlling here, I'm controlling HDMI matrix to control my inputs and outputs. And yes, we have a very powerful IPCP, and that is DTP crosspoint L4 Extron with this HDMI matrix with a built-in processor. And yeah, that's pretty it. This is the main thing. Thank you for watching.